I walked out and quit my job because I was working with the most condescending and passive aggressive person I've ever met. At the time, I was working inside of a restaurant of a hotel. And usually when you start working somewhere new, you start asking your new coworkers like, oh, like how long have you been working here? And every single person I asked was saying like, oh, 1 month, 2 weeks. High employee turnover is a red flag. So honestly, I should have turned in my 2 weeks right then and there. The person who bullied me out of my job was my supervisor. So the hierarchy of people that matter in this story goes supervisor, manager, director of food and beverage. Before I get to what the final straw of this story was, I'll tell you everything that built up to it because I am not someone who quits over one rude comment or action. This was consistent behavior, consistent bullying. She would bully the servers. The training there was absolutely terrible. Nobody got properly trained. And these young girls, because we were all like college age, they would ask the supervisor for help and then she would go around behind their back to the other servers and talk about how slow they were in the head and stupid and ditzy because they weren't able to figure out something by themselves. But they just got hired. Like, how are they gonna know what to do? The entire time that I was getting trained, I had to ask questions like the whole time because nobody was telling me anything. I literally was asking, I was like, okay, so how do you do this? How do you do this? Like, I felt like I was training myself. It was terrible. The worst training I've ever experienced. And in most restaurants, they either assign service sections or the servers will pick the section. That was not the case here. There would only be like 2 or 3 servers on at a time. So they would either like decide amongst themselves who would get what, or the supervisor was supposed to tell them which table was theirs as they were getting sat. Well, guess what? She wouldn't do this. She just wouldn't tell us and tables would get misgreeted. And just like, where's the communication? We also had to do room service orders. So every time somebody would call and order it, she was supposed to write down the order and give it to us. She wouldn't give it to us. She would just set it down somewhere, just somewhere, anywhere random and be like, hey, did you see it? No, of course I didn't see it. I'm busy. Things fall off the counters. Like, you need to hand it to us. And she would just set it down. Like, she was really preying on her downfall. Also, if you've ever worked in a restaurant, you know that there's a checkout at the end of the night, which is how you get paid. That's how you know how much you owe back to the restaurant or how much they owe you. Well, there was this one time where my checkout was screwed up, but I had only had like 3 tables. So I knew exactly how much money I was supposed to make. I had the evidence of the tips, you know what I mean? But my checkout said that I basically owed her money. So I went to her trying to resolve this, and all she did the whole time was just say, like, do you not understand? Like, are you dumb? Like, she was making it seem like I was wrong. Long story short, spoke to higher up management. We got it all sorted out. I was right. She was wrong. She was the reason why my checkout was screwed up. And she was trying to blame me for it and make me seem stupid. Meanwhile, I've worked in many restaurants and